Okay, so get this. You get a warning that bird flu is in the air in just 5 minutes. Like not hours, not days, 5 minutes.
Wow.
That's the kind of like reality-bending possibility we're going to be looking at today in this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've got this cutting-edge research from Washington University in St. Louis, and it's got scientists, engineering, and a little bit of, well, scientific magic all rolled into one.
Yeah, and you know, it can be more timely.
Right.
You know, H5N1 cases are just surging. You know, especially in the U.S., it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, for those working with poultry and dairy.
Right.
Just last month, the USDA reported over 35 new cases in dairy cattle, mainly in California. And, you know, this thing is airborne and it can jump to mammals. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that includes us.
That includes us, yeah.
Okay, so we're not talking about some slow, old-school lab test here.
No.
This new biosensor, it just, like, blows the doors off traditional PCR testing, which, you know, could take, what, 10 hours or more to get results?
Yeah, at least.
So why is that speed so crucial in this fight against H5N1?
Well, you know, because with a virus this contagious, every minute matters.
Right.
I mean, think about it. By the time you get results back from a traditional test, H5N1 could have already, you know, ripped through a whole farm.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, this biosensor really puts the power back in the hands of, you know, farmers and health officials, letting them, you know, make the right call fast.
Right. So I'm picturing this device. Right. And I got to ask, when I read wet cyclone bioaerosol sampler, my brain went straight to sci-fi movie.
I know.
What is that exactly, and how does this whole thing work?
You know, it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds.
Okay.
Picture a device about the size of a desktop printer sitting near the exhaust vents of, say, you know, a chicken coop or a cattle barn, and it's constantly sucking in the air.
Okay.
And it traps any virus particles in a liquid.
Okay.
And that's the, you know, that's the wet cyclone part. Every 5 minutes, this liquid goes into the biosensor for analysis.
Right, so that's how it grabs the virus.
Right.
But what I really want to know about is this secret sauce.
Yeah.
You know, these special ingredients that make this sensor so incredibly sensitive.
Yeah, the secret sauce.
Right.
They've
what is it?
They've coated the sensor with this combo of graphene oxide and impression blue nanocrystals. And it's like they've supercharged its ability to detect even the tiniest traces of the virus. Like, we're talking, you know, less than 100 viral RNA copies per cubic meter of air.
Wait, hold on. 100 copies. That's mind-blowing.
It is.
Okay, but let's say this sensor can detect H5N1 like it's nobody's business.
Right.
What else can it do?
Well,
Can it be used for other viruses and bacteria, too?
That's what makes this so exciting.
Okay.
It's not a one-trick pony.
Right.
They've already shown that it can detect other influenza strains like H5N1, SARS-CoV-2. You remember that one, right?
I do, yeah.
And even bacteria like E. coli and Pseudomonas.
So what you're saying is this isn't just some, like, niche tool for bird flu. This could be a game changer for how we deal with all sorts of threats.
Exactly.
Okay, now we're talking.
It has the potential to, like, revolutionize how we approach disease detection and prevention.
Yeah.
Not just on farms, but, you know, potentially in other settings as well.
Okay, but let's bring this back down to earth for a second.
Yeah.
If you're a farmer and you've got this sensor in your barn, how does it actually change your life?
Okay.
What's the practical impact?
Let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
You've got this affordable, portable sensor.
Right.
Keeping an eye on the air in your barn 24/7.
Constantly.
If there's even a whisper of H5N1, you get an alert instantly.
Wow.
No waiting for lab results, no wondering what's going on. You can take immediate action.
Right.
You know, quarantine sick animals, clean things up, and stop the virus in its tracks.
So it's not just about speed. It's about giving farmers the information they need to protect their livelihoods.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's about more than just one farm.
Yeah.
It's about the entire food supply.
Right.
If we can contain outbreaks faster, we can prevent shortages, keep prices stable, and ensure that everyone has access to the food they need.
Absolutely.
That's a big win for everybody, wouldn't you say?
I'd say that's a massive win. And I know Varro Life Science is looking to commercialize this sensor. So it seems like they're on the right track to make this a reality for farmers everywhere.
They are. They've been involved from the get-go, you know, working with the research team to make sure this incredible technology has a real-world impact.
That's something I always find fascinating, you know, that bridge between groundbreaking science and real-world solutions. It's not just about cool gadgets.
Right.
It's about, you know, making people's lives better.
Absolutely. Turning cutting-edge research into something tangible, something that can benefit people on a day-to-day basis. And, this biosensor is a perfect example of that.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, what if we could have this kind of early warning system for all kinds of airborne threats?
Right.
Flu, new viruses, who knows what else might be out there?
It's a fascinating possibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about fundamentally changing how we approach public health.
Right.
Imagine being able to detect and respond to outbreaks before they have a chance to spread widely.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a game changer for, preventing pandemics and minimizing disruptions to our lives.
But on the flip side,
yeah.
wouldn't that raise some questions?
Sure.
This kind of technology monitoring the air we breathe,
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like there could be some privacy concerns.
That's a valid point.
Right.
It's a conversation we need to have. As with any powerful technology, there's always the potential for misuse.
Yeah.
We need to think about how to implement this kind of biosensing responsibly,
Right.
with, clear guidelines and regulations in place.
It's all about finding that balance, right?
It is.
Harnessing the power of technology while protecting, individual rights and freedoms.
Right.
And it's a conversation we need to be having now,
Yeah.
before this kind of technology becomes commonplace.
Absolutely. This isn't just something for, scientists and policymakers to figure out.
Right.
It's something we all need to be thinking about. I mean, what are the trade-offs we're comfortable making?
Right.
How much are we willing to, adjust our lives in the name of safety and security?
Those are some big questions, and I appreciate you bringing them up. But let's circle back to the research itself for a moment. This biosensor, with its speed, accuracy, and potential applications beyond just H5N1, it really feels like a beacon of hope in our fight against infectious diseases.
It's a testament to, human ingenuity,
Wow.
to our ability to find solutions even in the face of challenges like, the spread of H5N1.
It's like we're on the verge of having this superpower, being able to spot these invisible threats in the air.
Yeah, right.
But as with any superpower, I guess there's that question of how we use it responsibly.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, this kind of technology comes with huge responsibilities.
Right.
Imagine if we could detect not just H5N1,
Yeah.
but other influenza strains.
Right.
Maybe even the common cold.
Oh, wow.
Think about how that could change things. I mean,
Yeah.
schools, workplaces, travel.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, you could potentially stop outbreaks before they even start.
Right.
But on the other hand, it feels like we're wading into some pretty deep ethical waters here.
We are. Think about it. If we can detect a common cold just from someone breathing,
Right.
what does that mean
Mhm.
for personal privacy?
Yeah.
Is it okay to screen everyone constantly
Yeah.
who gets access to that information? I mean, those are tough questions.
It's almost like a science fiction dilemma come to life,
It is.
isn't it? This incredible technology that could improve our lives, but also has the potential for misuse.
It's a classic double-edged sword scenario.
Right.
We need to figure out how to,
Yeah.
maximize the benefits of this technology while minimizing the risks. And that's going to require a lot of careful thought and discussion.
And it's a discussion that needs to involve everyone.
Right.
Right? Not just scientists and policymakers, but the public, too.
Exactly.
After all,
Yeah.
it's our lives that will be affected by this technology.
Exactly. We need to have open and honest conversations about, what we're comfortable with,
Right.
what kind of trade-offs we're willing to make as a society.
Yeah.
For example, would you be willing to have your breath scanned every time you entered a public building if it meant preventing a major flu outbreak?
That's a great question. And honestly, I don't know the answer. It's something I'd have to really think about.
Sure.
Weigh the pros and cons. But I appreciate you raising that point.
Yeah.
Because it really highlights the complexity of this issue.
It's not just a black and white issue.
Right.
It's full of nuances and gray areas.
Yeah.
And there are no easy answers.
Well, I think it's safe to say this isn't the last we'll be hearing about this kind of technology.
Right.
It feels like we're just at the beginning of something big.
We are. This biosensor is just one example of the incredible advancements happening in the field of disease detection.
Right.
And as these technologies continue to evolve, these conversations about ethics and responsibility are only going to become more important.
For sure. It's a lot to think about. But before we get too lost in the what ifs.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back to the here and now. We've been talking about some pretty big picture stuff.
Right.
But at its core, this biosensor is a remarkable achievement.
It is. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our determination to solve some of the world's most pressing problems.
It shows what's possible when you bring together brilliant minds from different fields.
Yeah.
Engineers, chemists, biologists, they've all played a role in making this happen.
Absolutely. A great example of collaboration.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that, science can truly make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
And that's something worth celebrating.
Yeah. It really makes you realize that even when we're faced with these, big, scary challenges like a global pandemic, there's always hope.
Right.
There are people out there pushing the boundaries, coming up with these, innovative solutions.
That's what's so inspiring about science, isn't it? It's all about, pushing those boundaries, exploring the unknown, and constantly searching for better ways to do things. And this biosensor is a perfect example of, that spirit of innovation.
It's like if we can crack the code on something as complex as detecting a virus in the air in minutes, what else can we achieve?
Right.
It really opens up a world of possibilities.
Exactly. It makes you wonder what other breakthroughs are just around the corner. What other challenges will we overcome with the power of science and human ingenuity?
Well, I for one, am excited to find out. But before we get too carried away with the future, let's bring it back to this revolutionary biosensor.
Okay.
As we wrap up our deep dive today, what's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. We are entering a new era of disease detection and prevention. We're no longer at the mercy of invisible threats. With tools like this biosensor, we have the power to take control, to protect ourselves and our communities, and to create a healthier future for everyone.
That's a powerful message and a hopeful one.
It is.
It's been a fascinating deep dive, and I know I've learned a lot. Thanks for joining me today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, stay curious, stay informed, and let's keep exploring the incredible world of science together.